Are you curious about the state of our water supply in the southwestern United States? Have you heard about the declining water levels at Lake Mead, one of the largest man-made reservoirs in the world? In this video, we tackle the question on everyone's mind. Is Lake Mead, one of the largest man-made reservoirs in the world, really drying up? As the southwest United States faces ongoing drought and water shortages, the declining water levels at this iconic lake have become a source of concern for millions of people and the ecosystems that depend on it. But what's behind this crisis? Is it just a natural cycle or something more sinister at play? The western region of the United States is now experiencing the worst drought in recorded history. According to the findings of recent studies, the current environment is drier than it has been for at least 1,200 years, and it is probable that this trend, which is exacerbated by the impacts of climate change, will continue for at least another decade. The reduction in available water is having a negative impact on the communities around the area. Wildfires that were not under control were responsible for the destruction of millions of acres of land, which led to a decrease in the quality of the air. But in recent months, as the consequences of the mega-drought were strikingly obvious at Lake Mead, rising fears about the drought appeared to hit a pinnacle that had been building for some time. This summer, the reservoir reached record low elevation levels, making it the biggest one in the nation when measured by volume. Cracks in the ground and desolate valleys were visible in photographs, while photos obtained from satellites indicated that the reservoir's shorelines were receding. Lake Mead is a large reservoir that straddles the state line between Arizona and Nevada and extends for hundreds of miles. It is situated along a section of the Colorado River. It collaborates with the Hoover Dam to provide drinking water and electricity to a population of 25 million people, and it serves as a vital artery for the region's most important urban and agricultural centers. Lake Mead was formed as a result of the Hoover Dam. Its construction during the Great Depression was essential to the growth of the areas around it. Due to their dry and arid conditions, there were little opportunities for urban and industrial expansion up to that point. It is necessary for the water in Lake Mead to remain above a certain elevation in order for it to be able to pass through Hoover Dam. This is a process that not only makes it easier to distribute water, but also generates hydroelectric power that is distributed to water and irrigation districts, as well as municipalities in the states of Arizona, California, Nevada, and Mexico. The elevation level is another factor that plays a role in determining the amount of hydroelectric power that is produced by Hoover Dam. When there is less water in the reservoir, the capacity of the dam to produce electricity is reduced as well. According to Michelle Helms, a spokesman for the United States Bureau of Reclamation, Hoover Dam's highest capacity for the creation of electricity was 1,320 megawatts. This is 36% less power than the dam is typically able to generate at its greatest capacity. Lake Mead reached its lowest heights since 1937, when the reservoir was filled for the first time in July, after experiencing a gradual drop in level over the course of a number of years. The figure measured at Hoover Dam came perilously near to the barrier of 1,000 feet above sea level that is necessary to run its hydroelectric turbines. The dam is located 1,043 feet above sea level. The water level in Lake Powell, which supplies the hydroelectric turbines at Glen Canyon Dam, had reached 26% of its overall capacity, whereas the capacity of the Colorado River, as a whole, had only increased by 10%. According to Greg Postel, a meteorologist at the Weather Channel, less water is moving through the Colorado River system due to a prolonged upper weather pattern that lingers over the west. This information was provided to CBS News by Greg Postel. Certain regions that are under the influence of the weather pattern, such as portions of California and Nevada, do not get constant precipitation. When there is less precipitation over an extended period of time, there is less water that collects in Lakes Mead and Powell, and there is less snowfall in the Rocky Mountains, which means that there is less water that melts during the warmer months and pushes the river downstream. In addition, the Colorado River Compact, which was established a century ago and was responsible for determining how much water each state would get, allotted too much water. Due to this, there has historically been less of it running freely through the system than what the agreement initially intended. At first, states were permitted to draw a certain quantity of water from the river each year. This amount enabled them to construct and grow throughout the course of the greater part of a century. However, this predetermined amount was eventually reduced, but it was based on an estimation of the river's flow that experts subsequently determined was an inaccurate estimate, and development has overtaken the amount of water that is available to sustain what is there. People have been throwing things into Lake Mead for years, and now that the water level is beginning to decrease, some of those secrets are beginning to come to light. A boater on May 1, 2022 came upon a barrel that had been mired in the mud and made the gruesome discovery of a corpse within the barrel. The National Park Service stated on July 25 that a member of the public notified park rangers at Swin Beach in Lake Mead National Recreation Area about the discovery of yet another set of human remains at the location. The probe is still going on right now. The retreating seas have also brought to light scores of vessels that had been submerged in the past, including a landing craft from the time of World War II. According to a statement released by the National Parks Duty, NPS, on July 11, and sent to CNN, the NPS hypothesizes that this World War II surplus vessel was placed into service on the lake for a variety of reasons and then partly salvaged before it sank in its current position. It is unknown whether it sank as a result of an accident or if it was sunk on purpose in order to get rid of a vessel that was no longer needed. The lake's reduction in size has made many more common human artifacts, such as beer cans, sunglasses, baby carriages, tackle boxes, and even firearms and ancient arrowheads, as well as countless quantities of garbage spread throughout the landscape more visible. The future of Lake Mead hangs in the balance. As the water levels continue to drop, the impacts on the region will only grow more severe. From the families and businesses that rely on the reservoir for their water supply, to the recreational activities that draw tourists to the area, the consequences of a dry Lake Mead will be far-reaching. We must take action now to preserve this precious resource. Whether through conservation efforts, policy changes, or other measures, it is up to us to protect Lake Mead and ensure its longevity. Let's not wait until it's too late. Let's take action now to safeguard this vital resource. This brings us to the end of our video. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. We will see you in the next video. Till then, peace.